This is CBS News Chicago.
Good morning and great to be with you here to start the day. I'm Adrena Sinclair.
And I'm Marissa Perlman in for Dana Kozlov on your Monday morning. Thanks for starting your week with us. Right now, President Trump standing firm on his tariffs as the markets feel the impact. We'll have the latest from Wall Street and the bipartisan pushback.
And a child and woman are recovering this morning after a house fire in Woodlawn. Investigators are looking now for a cause.
And after some tense Final Four games, the matchup is set for tonight's men's championship game. Two top seeds are facing off for the title.
But let's start, though, with your first alert forecast on our Monday as we begin a new week here, looking live along Lakeshore Drive.
Oh, it looks like a beautiful shot there, but it is chilly out there. Mary Kay Kleiss is here with us for a look at how your week is starting off. Hey, Mary Kay.
Well, good morning, Marissa and Audrina. We have falling temperatures throughout the course of the day. A snow shower chance here as we get into lunchtime. There is a front that's going to be crossing our area. We already see evidence of that light snow shower activity trying to reach for Madison, Milwaukee, and Racine. That will be ours by lunchtime. It's all following a front. Winds are wrapping around low pressure, ready to pull in a gusty north wind. It is going to get so windy for us this afternoon and cold. Wind gusts straight off the lake, 25 to 35 miles per hour. Even though we're at 43 now, you got to plan for 24 in the loop for a feels like temperature this afternoon. And we have to add to that a little sloppy snowflake activity mixed with some cold rain right through the evening rush. But there is a warm up on the way, and we will show you that in the first alert forecast. Audrina, Marissa?
I'm looking forward to that already, Mary Kay. Thank you. Well, U.S. stocks opened lower today as markets around the world tumbled. Now, this comes amid concerns over President Trump's sweeping tariffs.
Yeah, markets open in bear market territory, a decline of 20% from a recent peak. We're taking a live look now at the New York Stock Exchange big board right now. Looks like the Dow Jones is down about 1,000 points. The NASDAQ and S&P 500 also seeing a significant drop. Now, despite global markets plunging, the White House is standing firm this morning.
Yeah, our Darius Johnson joins us now in studio. And Darius, the president is not backtracking as tariffs, really start to wreak havoc on the economy.
Hey there, ladies. Good morning to you both. We just saw those numbers right there, and you can see the sell-off is now getting global attention as the White House continues to face growing pushback. Tariffs are putting serious pressure on the markets, just looking at the Dow Jones this morning and others. The president's sweeping tariffs on dozens of nations are some of the highest in over a century. Tokyo's Nikkei fell nearly 8%, while Hong Kong suffered its worst single-day loss in over 16 years, dropping more than 12%. The White House says more than 50 countries have reached out to negotiate as backlash continues to grow. The European Union is now targeting United States products with retaliatory tariffs. And on Capitol Hill, some Democrats, Republicans, and major CEOs are now teaming up with hopes to limit the president's trade authority. Just over the weekend, take a look at this video. You could see protests erupting across the country as Americans voice their frustration. Just yesterday from Air Force One, the president says he is not backing down.
Sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. And we have such a horrible, we have been treated so badly by other countries because we had stupid leadership that allowed this to happen.
And right now, all eyes are on the White House. Later today, President Trump is expected to defend his strategy during a key face-to-face with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The two plan to discuss tariffs, the effort to return hostages, and a lot more. So hopefully we will learn a lot more during that meeting later on today, ladies.
All right, Darius, thank you so much. We'll be watching closely. Now to your nonstop news. A 5-year-old girl and a woman are in the hospital after a house fire overnight. It happened at this home on 64th and Maryland in the Woodlawn neighborhood. Police tell us officers and Chicago firefighters responded around 1 this morning. The girl and an adult woman were both burned but are expected to recover. It's not clear how that fire started, but police do say nobody else was hurt. Well, right now, a suspected serial killer is set to go before a Cook County judge.
Antonio Reyes is accused of killing 6 people at random over a span of 9 months back in 2020. We looked into court records that show this 21-year-old is now charged with the murder of 6 people and also attempted murders of 4 others, including 3 kids. Reyes was first arrested for murder back in December of 2020, but he was not charged with the other 5 until this year, just in February. Reyes has pled not guilty to all charges, and his hearing was scheduled for 9 a.m.
And a woman is in critical condition this morning after she was shot in the Austin neighborhood. Police say someone found the 26-year-old woman outside on Cicero and Polk just after 1 a.m. She had been shot twice, and officers say she was not able to talk to them to explain what happened or who pulled the trigger.
And the search continues for a 20-year-old Chicago man missing after a boat accident in Wisconsin Dells. Police say Francesco De Filippo was one of 3 people on a boat when it capsized on the Wisconsin River Thursday. One person got to safety, they swam, but police say the body of another Chicago man, a 75-year-old Luis De Filippo, was recovered from the river over the weekend. Search efforts, though, have been limited because of the dangerous water conditions. They haven't been able to deploy divers or underwater drones at this point. With warmer weather on the way, police are reminding boaters to wear life jackets and just be aware of the water conditions before going out on the water. And there will be a special meeting today to appoint a new alderman in the 36th ward.
Yeah, this is to replace Carlos Ramirez Rosa, who stepped down to take over as the head of the Chicago Park District. Now, Ramirez Rosa is already in office at the Park District. Mayor Brandon Johnson selected Cook County Commissioner Anthony Caseta to take over. Caseta must be confirmed now by the City Council. Johnson has scheduled the special meeting for 10:30 this morning at City Hall.
And as we keep an eye on your world, right now, Hollywood is mourning the loss of actor Jay North.
Yeah, North was best known as the mischief maker on the show Dennis the Menace. Next to his starring role in the 1959 sitcom, the actor also appeared in several other TV shows, including The Lucy Show and My 3 Sons. A longtime friend said North died at home Sunday following a battle with cancer. He's survived by his wife and 3 stepdaughters. North was 73 years old.
Medics in Gaza say 2 people, including a reporter, were killed after an Israeli airstrike that hit tents just outside of 2 major hospitals in the Gaza Strip this morning. They also say 9 other people were hurt, including 6 reporters. Hospitals in Gaza say 28 other people were killed in separate strikes across this territory. The Israeli military said it hit a Hamas militant without giving any further information. 4 injured Palestinian children received a warm welcome at O'Hare Airport yesterday. The kids are 1, 4, 12, and 16 years old. Each have injuries related to the war or conditions that could not be treated in Gaza. You can see here people lining up. They had signs and balloons and gifts for these kids before they start their medical treatment here in the U.S. And in the occupied West Bank, Israeli soldiers shot 3 Palestinian American teenagers.
Yeah, we know 1 boy was killed and 2 others were hurt in this shooting just yesterday. Now, the boy who died was 14 years old. The wounded teens are 14 and 15. That's according to Palestinian officials. The Israeli military said its soldiers opened fire during a counterterrorism operation when they saw 3, quote, terrorists throwing rocks towards the highway. The U.S. State Department has not yet commented on this incident. Well, more college students had their visas revoked. The federal government canceled the visas of a dozen international students at UCLA. The university's chancellor now says it affects 6 current students and 6 former students participating in a practical training program. We also now know some Arizona State University students had their visas revoked just last week.
Well, still to come this morning, March Madness is heating up in San Antonio, where the men's championship game will be played tonight.
Yeah, we've got reaction from the final 2 teams preparing to face off. And on the women's side, UConn celebrating a win after beating South Carolina. Why this win was extra victorious. That's next.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are visiting the White House today to celebrate their win in the 2024 World Series. The Dodgers claim the title in their game against the Yankees, of course, and it's customary for professional championship winners to meet with the president. The first Major League Baseball championship team to visit the White House was back in 1924, so a 100-year tradition there.
Wow.
And March Madness comes to an end tonight with the 2 top seed teams playing for the men's national championship.
I can't believe we're already here.
I know.
Florida and Houston will take to the court in San Antonio, of course. course, and we saw some thrilling Final Four games on Saturday that sent 2 number 1s home. With Duke and Auburn out of the running, it is down now to the remaining top seeds, Florida and Houston, to decide the men's national championship. Coaches for both teams spoke about getting this far.
I didn't even get through all of them, but I saw Tubby and Rick Barnes and Tom Izzo and Pop and a bunch of the older coaches, and they all kind of had similar messages to me. You know, win one for the old guys or something like that.
Once we got here, we kind of felt like we had the weight of the world off our shoulders in terms of we made the Final Four. Now it's just time to hoop. Go out there and see what happens, and that's definitely how I feel now.
And the UConn women's basketball team waking up as winners this morning. They took the championship yesterday against South Carolina, beating the defending champs. The final score, 82-59. They really wiped them out there. This is UConn's 12th national championship.
We hadn't played our best team basketball yet in the tournament, and we had gotten to the point where we were and done it pretty well. But we thought we were saving our best performances for this weekend. So it's extremely fitting. It's destiny, and I think it was just a great last showing of the great team basketball that we've been playing all season.
And you can watch tonight's championship game between the men right here on CBS Chicago. Tip-off just before 8. We'll have our late news right after that, so make sure to stick with us. I'm going to miss that jingle there.
Me too. I love it. Speaking of another March Madness we're following, this morning we do have a winner. It is time to share who takes the title of Chicago's top dog.
Yeah, it's been so fun, and so many of you voted in our tournament to help us find the best, absolute, hands-down hot dog in town. Now, we started with the Sport Pepper 16, whittled it down to the all beef 2. It was Portillo's versus Super Dog. The votes are in, and if you haven't watched us this morning at all, 2,000 votes in. Last round was yesterday, and the winner is Super Dog. They're our champion, beating out Portillo's with 72% of the vote. Pretty cool because it's a family-owned restaurant, opened right at the corner of Milwaukee, Devon, and Nagel in Chicago back in 1948. They've got that second location in Wheeling that opened in 2009.
Yeah, and tomorrow we're going to go behind the scenes at Super Dog, and some super fans commented on the big win already. Sherry says Super Dog all day. Marilyn says Super Dog is superior. Dawn says we travel an hour each way just to have one. Okay, that's dedication. And Steven says Super Dog is unmatched in food and in service, which is also very important.
I love that.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago when I got to Chicago, one of our old photographers who's like diehard hot dog Chicago guy, in his Chicago accent was like, I gotta take you to Super Dog.
It's time.
And so we went, and it is so fun to be there.
So fun.
And congrats to them. Thanks to everybody who voted.
That was your initiation of
That was my initiation, and so look at this, 10 years later, coming to full circle.
Here we go.
I love it.
Top title.
And I think Portillo's has been in our tournament the past 3 years.
Oh yeah, they're always in it for something.
Always something.
They're always up. They're always up there too. So.
Well, we knocked him out this time.
All right, Super Dog, good job. Can't wait to be out there tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah.
All right, not such of a good time today.
No,
yeah, I know. We're still waiting on the snow to get here. It's not a big snow. I know. We have to wait for it. We will eventually see some snow showers flying here across Chicago and some harsh breezes to go along with it. We're holding in the 40s, 43 now. We actually climbed up a degree since earlier this morning. Wind chill 35. That number is not going to be too nice late in the day. First alert radar right now. We're in and out of the clouds. The snow showers is now out across Milwaukee, going from north to south. So we'll eventually get into a little bit of flurry and some snow shower activity by the midday hours, and still throughout the afternoon, some off and on rain, snow showers mixed. No, not accumulating here this evening, but we do keep at least a couple of impulses still going through even through the late night tonight before we clear out on Tuesday. So we are headed in for a chillier feel for tomorrow. Eventually late week, we are looking at some warming temperatures. Now temps over the next 12 hours headed on down. So we're pretty much at the warmest point of the day. By noon, still in the 40s. We drop off to 38 by 1 o'clock and slowly fall to the mid 30s by the afternoon, or for the late part of the day into your evening. That wind chill forecast too, as those harsh winds pick up, that's going to push in those cold air with those snow showers. Temperatures for feels like readings in the upper 20s. It'll stay on the blustery side even overnight tonight, but really going to be feeling that cold weather by tomorrow morning with a low of 25 degrees. 7-day forecast, mid-40s for highs now through Wednesday. We've got another shot for rain, possibly mixed in with some snow for Wednesday in the morning hours. Mostly just going to be looking at rain throughout the day. 45 degrees, upper 40s on Thursday. Chance for rain will linger for another day there, and then we clear out as temperatures get back to the middle upper 50s and 60s by the end of the week. Sunday, nice looking day, a high of 65. All right, traffic, how are we looking out there? Nice or not so nice? Chris?
Not so nice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's going to be selection B. And not just because of the weather that is coming in, but by virtue of the fact that, number one, it's Monday. Number two, we've had some crashes. Number three, we had a terrible incident on DuSable Lakeshore Drive this morning, and it backed up DuSable Lakeshore Drive like this. This is pretty secondary to what actually happened there, just out of the frame in the upper right. Past Roosevelt, roughly between Roosevelt and Balboa, an unidentified 72-year-old man was struck and killed in the median there by a other pickup truck. The pickup truck stopped, the driver stopped, and is being cooperative with police, obviously. So that caused the closure from where you can see right there at Roosevelt up to Balboa until very recently, just about 10 minutes ago. That stretch has been reopened, so we're starting to get some easing of the delays there. This is what it looks like as far as the big picture is concerned. You'll see in northwest Indiana, we've got ourselves an angry red line from State Road 51 over to Central. That's a vehicle that crashed there in the right lane. Hoosier helpers are with it right now. As we get in towards DuSable Lakeshore Drive, the angry red lines have been replaced by pretty more standard, just slow through there. And this is what the rest of the roadways look like getting in close to downtown. Chris Habermill, CBS News Chicago.
Kind of a mess out there, Chris. Thank you so much. And while it feels like winter here at home, take a look at these spring-like sights from the Netherlands. All right, we're going on vacation now, everyone. Thousands of people made their way to this huge flower garden filled with tulips, daffodils, and hyacinth. The farm is more than 600 acres with some 7 million flower bulbs. There are 16,000 different varieties. They started planting them the second week of October and weren't finished until Christmas time. The flowers will be on display until early May.
We need to teletransport ourselves for our
right
travel. Habitat for Humanity is known for building homes, and today the nonprofit is kicking off a project to bring more affordable homes to Chicago's Austin neighborhood.
Audrina and Marissa, good morning to you from the 900 North Michigan Shops. This is an absolutely stunning building, and we're talking all things springtime and preparing for Easter. So if you want a really great Easter basket, this is the chocolate that you want to fill it with. This is from Toysure Chocolates of Switzerland, all delicious handmade chocolate. These chocolate bunnies are hand painted, and then you've got all of these cute little things that you can actually put the candy into. And I have been told that these chocolates over here will change my life. So there is a champagne chocolate, which I'm going to take a little bit of a bite of, but I'm not going to do it on camera because nobody needs to see me eating on camera. It's okay. Also, these Easter bunny are handmade too in Switzerland. So everything handmade, hand painted, and absolutely delicious. We'll see you right after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Elected officials will be joining Habitat for Humanity Chicago for a groundbreaking in Austin.
Yeah, it's actually Habitat Chicago's first affordable home construction project in that neighborhood. And in less than an hour, they'll break ground near Ferdinand and Lockwood. The nonprofit says that construction of the first 3 homes in Austin are expected to be done by next year. The homes will be sold through Habitat Chicago's affordable homeownership program.
The Chicago Teachers Union is holding an all-member meeting today to go over the tentative agreement with Chicago Public Schools. Leaders will discuss how the contract could impact bilingual educators, students, and their communities. The session is from 5 to 6 tonight. Union members will have a chance to cast their ballot this Thursday and Friday to either ratify the agreement or send it back to the bargaining table.
Well, a group of teens played in harmony over the weekend, and it comes after they had a setback. They lost out on an opportunity after President Trump ended a lot of the executive orders targeting diversity, equity, and inclusion.
But on Sunday, they kicked off the Chicago Youth and Music Festival alongside the Civic Orchestra. Our Sharday Gray was there for the performance and spoke to kids about how music keeps them going.
Music is a universal language. It's not defined by the color of your skin, which is what Equity Arc wants listeners to take away from today's performance. 18-year-old Jacob Cornejo has been playing the flute since he was in the 5th grade.
I feel through the flute I'm able to express what I'm feeling, and I can share my music and the music that's written on the paper with the audience.
He's one of 60 students in the Equity Arc program, a nonprofit organization that provides mentoring and support for young musicians of color. Inside the Symphony Center, they perform next to Civic Orchestra members, giving a free concert.
We're very excited to have some of the most talented students from across the country, many of them that are representing Chicago with us. That really represents the extraordinary talent that we have for those that are seeking a professional career in classical music.
The teens were supposed to perform the president's own, a concert with United States Marine Band in May, but that opportunity was taken away. An executive order signed by President Trump banned programs for diversity, equity, and inclusion throughout the federal government and military. In March, 60 Minutes brought the teens to Washington, D.C. to ask about the canceled concert.
You were not meant to be here today. This ensemble was not meant to be heard. And I wonder what this moment on this stage means to your heart.
My name is Sean Muzan. I'm here from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a junior at Southwest DeKalb High School. One thing that unites us all is this, music.
They answered in song.
The color of your skin doesn't matter. You know, whether you're white, you're black, you're brown, you should be able to share the music or to do what you love.
This performance kicks off the Chicago Youth and Music Festival. The Chicago Symphony Orchestra has a Connect program where they work with CPS and Community Youth Orchestra, where they rehearse with Civic Orchestra members. Reporting at the Symphony Center, Sade Gray, CBS News, Chicago.
Well, Equity Arc helps student musicians connect with mentors from all across the country. Such a great program there, and to watch them really just like thrive.
I know, and the cool thing about the program is they also have developmental opportunities like internships and mock auditions, so they get lots of opportunities to just practice their skill and really expand their horizons too.
Absolutely, can't wait to see what they do.
I know. Next at 9:30, the Easter Bunny on Michigan Avenue.
Yeah, Jackie's back for today's bunny-themed jumpstart. That's next. Plus, a crash involving a CTA bus overnight. 3 people were hurt, including the driver. All about it. Details.
Sometimes that last step of your chores, like putting away the folded clean laundry, can feel so tough. But in today's Mental Health Minute, how taking the time to finish and complete that task brings you peace of mind.
This is CBS News Chicago.
Good morning and great to start the week with you. I'm Audrina Sinclair.
And I'm Marissa Perlman in for Dana Kozlov this morning. It is 9:30. Thanks so much for staying with us on your Monday morning. Now, we are keeping an eye on Wall Street as the markets seem to be changing rapidly. The Dow Jones slowly creeping back up, but still down after being down more than 1,200 points at today's opening.
And let's get this half hour started with your first alert forecast. Feeling colder today, also preparing for some snow. Laura, you said we're still waiting on that right now, getting little peaks of sun here and there.
Yeah, nice to see a little sunshine.
Yeah, we'll take it.
This all comes here. We are likely going to see some scattered rain, snow showers around by the midday hour, so lunchtime. Don't be caught off guard that we see some snow in the area. Farther west, we've got broken out to some sunshine, but mostly those clouds are going to be filling in here shortly, and these temperatures also expected to drop with this front. Winds are going to be picking up, and that's going to usher in some wind chills and some drastically colder air for the second half of the day. So we'll have to watch those wind chills go down to the 20s by 5 o'clock, upper 20s, 30s farther inland, 20s by 10 o'clock here this evening, and actual air temperatures in the 20s. It is going to be a shock to the system with the cold air tomorrow morning, but we do have a nice recovery on the horizon, including highs in the 60s. Show you when coming up here shortly.
All right, Laura, thank you.
Well, breaking overnight, we are now learning a man was hit and killed while standing in a median on DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Police say the 72-year-old was hit by a pickup truck after 5 a.m. in the northbound lane near Roosevelt. The man died at the scene, The driver stayed on scene and was not cited. All lanes are now back open. And in Cicero this morning, 3 people are hurt after a van rammed into a CTA bus overnight. Now, this happened around 2 this morning. The CTA tells us the bus was at the service stop at Cicero and 24th Place. That's when the van ran into the back of the bus. You can see the front of the van here dented in. The bus driver and 2 passengers were taken to nearby hospitals. We don't know the extent of their injuries, but the person we spoke to on scene believes it was a case of drunk driving.
I was looking in the car to see if the driver was still in the car, and then he stumbled out of from the side of the car, and he was stumbling, and then he left. He left the crime scene.
Now, the CTA rider there tells us she was sitting down when this happened, but the people who were standing on the bus fell over. We have calls into police and are waiting to learn more about this incident.
The husband of a woman found dead in the South Loop last fall is set to be in court today. Adam Beckerink was arrested on assault charges in Michigan in March. Those charges came just days after his wife, Caitlin Tracy, was found dead in his condo building. The Cook County Medical Examiner still has yet to determine Tracy's cause of death. No one has been charged in her death either. The aggravated assault charges against Beckerink are related to a domestic violence incident that happened at Tracy's New Buffalo home, and he was charged for assaulting police officers. Beckerink's pretrial hearing set for today at the Berrien County Courthouse in Michigan. And jury selection begins today for the trial in the deadly Ethiopian Airlines crash in 2019. This is the first trial Boeing is facing related to the crash, where 157 people were killed when the 737 MAX 8 plane went down in Ethiopia. That crash happening just 6 minutes after taking off. Boeing has agreed to take full responsibility for the cause of the crash, but the trial is centered on damages for the victims' families. Also today, the Chicago Police Department is expected to announce charges in multiple sex assault investigations. It's happening at 11 this morning. Now, right now, we do not have any details into what these cases for the charges involve, but we will be monitoring this announcement. We'll bring it to you live when it happens right here on the stream.
And we want to take a live look now at the New York Stock Exchange's big board. We've been following this all morning long. U.S. stocks are extremely volatile as traders search for any sign that President Donald Trump's tariffs could be negotiated or halted. The stocks turned positive for a moment in a sudden reversal, but right now the Dow Jones is still down about 300 points after the market was down more than 1,200 points at its opening today. And as stocks waver, Trump just posted on social media that, quote, countries from all over the world are talking to us.
Naomi Ruckham tells us more of what to expect from Washington today and this week as Americans fear a worsening financial crisis.
American and international markets have tanked in reaction to President Donald Trump's impending tariffs on dozens of nations around the world. And from Air Force One Sunday, the president said he's not backing off.
I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something.
The president's aides are working to calm fears, saying more than 50 nations have reached out about negotiating to lift the tariffs.
We're going to become a wealthy nation again, wealthy like never before.
The European Union is now proposing a list of U.S. goods to hit with extra tariffs, which could send prices soaring for products like fast fashion, electronics, cheese, and champagne.
The costs of doing business with the United States will drastically increase. And what is more, there seems to be no order in the disorder.
Amid the uncertainty, Democrats say they have several Republicans and company CEOs on board to limit the president's power on tariffs.
I think we're hearing from a big segment of the economy that consumer spending is a big part of GDP, and they're worried.
Over the weekend, thousands of demonstrators in all 50 states voiced their anger at the current administration. Still, the Commerce Secretary says the tariffs will stay in place, adding the president plans to reset global trade. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
And today at the White House, President Trump will talk tariffs with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. They will also talk about the ongoing war in Gaza, including Iran's role in the crisis. And the Trump administration has until the end of the day to return a Maryland man who was deported to El Salvador in March. A federal judge issued the order Friday after the administration conceded in a court filing that had mistakenly deported Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia. He is currently being held in a notorious mega prison. Abrego Garcia has been living in the States under protected status since 2019 after fleeing gang violence in El Salvador.
We found that the government did not dispute that there was no legal basis whatsoever for his deportation. Really, all just goes to show how little importance the federal government has given to this case.
Now, in its filing, the Trump administration admitted that ICE was aware of Abrego Garcia's protected status and that his deportation was due to a, quote, administrative error. Now, the White House claims it cannot get him back and is appealing the judge's ruling.
Well, a second child in Texas has now died from measles amid a still growing outbreak there. This is the third measles-related death tied to this outbreak. The state health department says the child was school-aged, not vaccinated, and died of pulmonary failure linked to the measles infection. More than 600 measles cases have been reported now in 22 states to the CDC since the start of the outbreak. Nearly 500 of those in Texas alone. Nearly all of those were unvaccinated people. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. visited the epicenter of the outbreak yesterday. He shared a message on social media saying he traveled to Texas to comfort the family of those two kids who died. Despite his outspoken anti-vaccine comments in the past, he also posted that the measles vaccine is the most effective way to prevent the spread of this. Diseases like measles have a harder time spreading through communities that have vaccination rates higher than 95%. Well, this comes as Houston's Hobby Airport says anyone who traveled through that airport at the end of March may have been exposed to the measles. Now, this case is not related to the local Houston outbreak, but the airport says someone coming from Mexico was infected with measles while they were traveling through multiple airport zones. This happened March 30th between 4 and 8 at night. The airport says anyone who traveled there during that time should monitor their health until April 20th to check for any symptoms. The airport says the best way to safeguard against measles is the MMR vaccine.
There's a new resolution celebrating the rich cultural heritage of the Little Palestine community. April 7th has now been designated Little Palestine Day in Palos Hills, Oak Lawn, Bridgeview, and Hickory Hills. This resolution celebrates the more than 200 Arab-owned businesses that make up the Little Palestine community, an area of Bridgeview specifically extending along Harlem through Worth. It's known for its Middle Eastern dining and shopping experiences. The Cook County Commissioner says the resolution is also making its way through the General Assembly in Springfield. Well, this comes as the Chicago Coalition for Justice in Palestine is holding a rally and march in Little Palestine. The organization says this is part of the global strike to end genocide in Gaza. They'll meet at 4:30 today at the Westfield Plaza near 87th Street and Harlem. Well, next, we put the clothes in the wash. That's the easy part, but sometimes it's just such a struggle to fold them and put them away. In today's Mental Health Minute, how completing the last step can give us a brain boost.
Just the boost you need.
Just a boost.
And we are hopping into spring with the help of the Easter Bunny, of course. We are live at the 900 North Michigan shops with a look at all of the activities to celebrate the season. Laura?
Hey, we've got a couple of snow chances in your first alert forecast. First one heading this way right now, timing it out in your first alert forecast.
Well, with the snow coming, you know, we're just settling into spring and what that means in Chicago. But we do know the Easter Bunny is always a spring staple, and there's malls that always have a bunny.
A lot of fun to be had. That includes the 900 North Michigan shops on Michigan Avenue, and that is where we find our Jackie Kostek. She's cozying up with the Easter Bunny this morning and sharing all about the Easter-themed activities for kids and parents alike. Hey, Jackie.
Marissa, Audrina, I have literally cozied up with the Easter Bunny this morning. And what I learned this morning is that you really can never be too old to spend some time with the Easter Bunny and just have yourself a good time. So he's got his care right there. Have you ever seen a more dapperly dressed bunny than this? And yeah, I mean, look, you just look so good. Okay, well, high five to you, Easter Bunny. And we're going to move on. So you can come here to the 900 North Michigan shops, and they have the Easter Bunny here 3 days a week right now. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Unfortunately, Peter's not here every day, but he is very dapperly dressed as well. But this is how you work. You take a picture with the Easter Bunny, and then they can actually digitally deliver it to you as soon as possible. So you get your pictures immediately. You don't have to be, waiting for them to be retouched or anything. So this is me a little bit earlier with the Easter Bunny himself, photographer Dave Kennebrew in the shot as well. He can't not be a part of the segment too. Here with Taylor Stuker this morning, who's the marketing manager at the mall. Good morning, Taylor.
Good morning.
Okay, so we talked about how dapperly dressed the bunny is, but you can also be very dapperly dressed for Easter and for the springtime season. So we've got some great looks here, starting with the woman look for J. Crew, right? From J.
Yes,
Crew?
this is head to toe J. Crew.
Okay,
She's got a beautiful lightweight cashmere cardigan on, a nice cotton poplin skirt, and look at this gorgeous rose-budded scarf. They have many different, from your swimsuits to different outfits, all in this cute little tone here.
Yes, I love when you've got like a pattern or a fabric like that, and you love the fabric and you want it in everything. You want the swimsuit, you've got the top, you've got the scarf, everything. And then also very dapper man right here, right? Or mannequin.
Absolutely. So this look is head to toe from Bonobos. This linen suit is from Italy, and you can get it in many different colorways. This one is your forest green. And what's so great about the lightweight material is you could keep the jacket on and put on jeans instead. You've got the, pop of color with the underneath shirt and tying it so nicely into the pocket square for a really completed look.
I love this. And Taylor, you had mentioned earlier this morning, but I love how the shops here at 900 North Michigan Shops, they're really split between international brands and local brands, right?
Yes, so we're 50% national brands and 50% local, which is so great because you can find so many hidden gems in here and little treasures. You know when you go on vacation and you want something unique?
Yes.
It's the same concept here at 900.
Okay, Taylor, thank you so much for your time this morning. I love it. As part of your ticket, when you come here to spend a little bit of time with the Easter Bunny, you also get a $25 gift card to Psycho Bunny, which we showed off a little bit earlier. And then you also get some free playtime at Bubbles Academy. So Natalie over here is the co-owner of Bubbles Academy. They have 3 locations across the Chicago area. And then here with Sunny, so they're actually going to have art classes here just about every day. Sunny, what are you making right now?
Okay, this is my egg, one of my eggs, and it looks so cool.
Yes, it looks so cool. You've got some cool colors, some blue, and some stones that you put onto it too. What are you most excited? Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, but my egg, I gotta fix it, so here it is. Do you see it right now?
I do see it right now. It looks so good. And you told me earlier, but what are you most excited about for Easter?
To hunt for my eggs and get presents.
Yes, hunt for your eggs and get presents. And we've got Peter this morning in his really cute outfit. You are a perfect Easter Bunny. I'm going to have you do one thing. By the way, you can get tickets to come see the Easter Bunny and have this whole experience. You also get a free treat up at Astor Hall. At what is the website, Taylor, one more time? Shop900.com. Can we put up your hood, Peter, and just show off your Easter Bunny ears? Oh, look at the ears. Yeah, that's why I'm not a mom. I can't figure it out. I can't figure kids out. Look at the face. Peter's giving me the side eye like, I don't know that you're doing this right. Ladies, back to you.
Oh, we're just hoping she didn't start crying or something, Jackie. She thinks she's,
I know.
She's into it.
Yes. Look up. And actually, Peter is very smart. Peter knows that there is art on the ceiling here at 900 North Michigan Shop. So I think that's what you were alluding to, right? Pointing up. There's art on the ceiling, digital art. It's so cool.
Now I want to see the art.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a good eye.
Yeah, we need more of that chocolate, ladies. We need more of that chocolate. From Switzerland.
Thanks,
so
Jackie.
much. I
love how she was like staring at her while she was talking with the microphone. I'm like, hold it together. Everybody hold it together.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
You know when you see like the Easter Bunny pictures with families and there's some kids who are happy, some are screaming and angry.
These kids have been very into it all morning long. It's been wonderful.
They're cute. It's sweet. Great for TV.
Yeah.
It always. Yeah, we could use an Easter Bunny on the news.
I know. In other news, we've got some snow coming.
Yeah, a little snow. Again, it's going to be like, wow, it's snowing. It's April. Not talking about shovels or really needing anything like that. A lot of this is going to be melting. Yeah, it's cute. Is that what you said?
I said few.
Oh, I thought you said cute. I thought you said cute, and I'm like, all right, kinda, not really. All right, so a little snow activity here today. We're going to be watching this move in by the midday hours, sunshine tomorrow, and then we are on alert for some more rain, potentially some snow in the mix by the middle part of Wednesday into that midweek time period. Now, out of all this, we're going to be shifting into a warmer weather pattern late week and going into the weekend. It's brisk, but these temperatures are slowly climbing. It's 43 at O'Hare, north wind at 17, feels more like 35 with a gust upwards of 25, and Midway at 45 feels like the upper 30s. The snow is now about to cross the state line out across Milwaukee, and that's going to be moving through over the next several hours. We are snow free right now, with the exception just out over the lake. Looks like we've got one little snow echo there, but we'll see some more snow showers over the next several hours. Noon today, you've got some snow showers from McHenry up toward Waukegan, here in Chicago, including the Loop, and to northwest Indiana. We'll continue in that off and on variety throughout the rest of the evening before wrapping up. Those skies will clear and we're back into some sunshine, but tomorrow is just going to be flat out cold, especially in the morning. So the way it's feeling right now, it will not be feeling this mild by the afternoon. We'll be falling through the afternoon with temperatures closely to freezing by 10 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow morning, we're starting off into the middle upper 20s. Rain returns on Wednesday. I'm going to show you this real quick. In the morning hours on Wednesday, we may see a slushy wet snow, but most of this is going to be falling in liquid and rain showers throughout Thursday, Wednesday into Thursday. That is, Thursday still could be looking at maybe a variety of precipitation, but mostly just going to be falling in showers. 7-day forecast, we're in the 40s now through Thursday, warmer on Friday, and nice weather ahead for the weekend. Near 60 on Saturday, 65 on Sunday. Chris, over to you.
Well, you have a fine selection of weather on your hands, and I've got a fine selection of traffic on mine. So let's go off to the maps, and I will show you that depending on where you're at, what you get, whether it's going to be really nice or not so nice. Northwest Indiana starting to clean up a crash on the northbound side here, just south of the State Road 2 exit by Lowell there. The right lane is blocked, a semi in the ditch. This has been happening multiple times over the last week or so. So state police out there helping out with that one. The core expressways are pretty busy, especially, of course, the Kennedy is ugly, but look at the inbound side of the Eisenhower and outbound. Outbound Ike at Austin have as many as 7 vehicles that may have been damaged in some sort of a crash. And off to the right there, I haven't even put an arrow on it yet because I just found out about it. Entering the inbound Ike from 25th Avenue. We've got a little bit of a blockage on the right there. A fire apparatus actually got a couple of wheels off in the mud there. So they're off on the right side and may take the right lane out inbound at 25th in order to winch that fire apparatus out. An expected closure coming up to a road near you, Milwaukee Avenue between Chicago and Kinsey. They're going to give it a little bit of an upgrade between now and May 18th. Not closed yet, but keep your eyes out for it. Have a great day. Drive safe. Let's be nice to each other and avoid the mud. Chris Habermill, CBS News Chicago.
I'm Marisa Vedra with today's Mental Health Minute. Do you ever find yourself doing chores and you do just about all of it, like you wash the dishes and you put them on the drying rack, but you don't complete it fully and the dishes just sit there for a very long time? If that sounds like you, because it does sound like me, we may have trouble completing the last step. It's a concept that we're going to discuss today with Dr. Alexandria Holliday with Advocate Children's Hospital. Doctor, there is something about that last step because you'll put it off for tomorrow and then it's the next day and the next day, and that impacts our mental health.
Yes, so finishing that last step can actually help reduce stress, right? So whether it's a project at school, a project at work, or even like your chores at home. I don't know about you, but laundry day is daunting, right?
Yes,
so
totally.
that last step of folding and putting away clothes, it's a lot, right? But for me, I get more stressed out kind of seeing those clothes piled up day to day. So not folding those clothes and putting them away is actually robbing myself from the ability to actually feel, right, the effort that I put in, right? So that dopamine rush, that like rewarding feeling that you get, that's gonna motivate you to do it again.
Because you said, I did it, it's done.
Absolutely. Finishing that last step is very, very important for mental health.
And doctor, is it impacting us because, you know, it's unfinished, or maybe a room is messy and that's impacting our mental health, or is it something else?
It could be a combination of both, right? So you have this laundry or this task that's lingering, right? But then also you have your day-to-day stress.
Right.
So on top of the stuff that you have to do at home, you have, your outside stress as well. So all of that can just become a domino effect and just make you more stressed out in general.
So try to push yourself to fold that laundry and put it away. It does feel daunting in the moment, but in just a few minutes, you're going to feel so good. And keep that in mind the next time you take a minute for your mental health.
So helpful and noted. We're going to put the laundry away. We're going to fold it. We're going to do all the stuff this week. For more quick ways to boost your spirit, head to cbschicago.com/mental health minute. You'll find all of our helpful ideas to de-stress and have a better day.
Yeah, we need that.
Somebody said, I feel guilty. Like, I feel like I need to do this
immediately.
And it's just take action. We can do it. Maybe we just fold one load and put it away.
I'm going to do that today. It's
this
my Monday afternoon activity.
On top of all the other things, right?
Right. Well, we want to celebrate our local libraries for National Library Week. They don't just offer physical books, but ebooks, audiobooks, movies, and even passes to go to local museums too. Chicago Public Libraries are encouraging you to get a library card and check out everything they have to offer. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for being with us on your Monday. Here's a look at the stories we're keeping an eye on today.
And first, the Chicago City Council will hold a special meeting in about 30 minutes to consider a new alderman for the 35th Ward. Now, this comes after Carlos Ramirez-Rosa stepped down to take over as the head of the Park District. Mayor Brandon Johnson already selected Cook County Commissioner Anthony Cazeta to replace him, but Cazeta has to be confirmed first by the full City Council.
We're also following this morning. A 5-year-old girl and a woman are in the hospital after a house fire overnight. It happened here at this home on 64th and Maryland in the Woodlawn neighborhood around 1 this morning. Police and fire say the girl and an adult woman were both burned, but thankfully are expected to recover. It's not clear yet how that fire started. And U.S. stocks are extremely volatile right now. This comes as traders search for any sign that President Trump's tariffs could be negotiated or halted. U.S. stocks opened the day in bear market territory, but surged an hour later on rumors that the Trump administration may pause tariffs, perhaps for several months. Right now, the Dow Jones is down about 300 points.
All right, we'll see a little snow here today. No accumulation, falling temperatures, and some blustery breezes. We're going down to 25 for a low tonight. Sun tomorrow, more rain and snow for the midweek forecast, and then we're cruising into a really nice weekend. Nicer weather on Friday, this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Near 60 on Saturday, 65 on Sunday. So there is a reward at the end of all
I love it. I want to stay present. That's like one of the practices. Stay present today.
Present.
But with that, I just like, where's the weekend? Let's go.
Nope, you can't with a weekend.
We deserve it, okay? After all this, we deserve that 65 on Sunday.
I think I deserve a weekend every week.
Yeah, you do.
Everyone does.
Everyone
you
does.
do, Laura. Thank you. Keeping us informed and ready and prepared.
Always. Yeah, you guys do the same, though.
Yeah, we try.
Thanks so much for joining us here on the news at 9.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow morning.